how's that? Look at this section on the inside here. Look at it sucking out right there. How's that? That's filthy. Look at the ironing across that. We're on that, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm out there. G'day and welcome to The Paddle Out. I'm joined again by my co-host Shane Horan. And our very special guest this episode is none other than Isabella Nichols. We also acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'm Ray from Surfing Life magazine. Bella.
Ray.
Hey,
Thanks for
Bella.
having me, guys.
in.
Always good to have you on.
Yes.
How you been?
I'm good. Yourselves?
Good, good. So you're just back fresh from Hawaii?
I am. Oh, I've been home for like 4 weeks now. Went into quarantine for 2 weeks in Sydney. And then just slowly trying to work into the rhythm of everyday life, you know, training, surfing, and yeah, good trip and happy to be back.
How is the rhythm of everyday life for a pro surfer? Is it a good rhythm?
It's a good rhythm sometimes. Like
Is it a tiring rhythm?
It depends if I decide to book myself really busy.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I love it. Every now and then, obviously, it becomes a bit monotonous. But obviously, surfing doesn't really feel like a job.
No, exactly.
Surfing, I love surfing. I love training. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain really. I got the best job in the whole world.
Yeah,
But obviously,
so
with
good.
everything, I feel like there comes a time where sometimes you need to change things up a bit. And but yeah, no,
Perfect.
living the life.
So Hawaii, how was it over there? Good season?
Hawaii was amazing. It was my first time in Maui, and when I rocked up, I remember getting to Maui, looking over Honolulu, and it was dead flat, but it was the most beautiful place that I've ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
And I got there 10 days before the contest started because I've never been, obviously, and all the other girls had been. So I had like 4 days where I kind of had it to myself, and it was probably like 1 foot, but I still had the best time ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, if you've ever been there before, it's like Jurassic Park.
Right.
It's like
You've
surreal.
been there, haven't you,
The
mate?
waves.
How many times have you surfed it?
Well, I've never surfed Honolulu Bay
Okay.
because
Oh,
when
really?
Honolulu Bay is good, Jaws is good.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're a big wave charger.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Jaws
go
was
there.
pumping when we were there.
Yeah, there you
and I was
go.
like, I'm going to stay at Honolulu.
Did you go check Jaws?
No, well, I was going to, but
It's on
then
the
the
other
whole
side.
day was pumping at Maui,
Yeah.
at Honolulu.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to waste the time. But then everyone from Oahu came over to surf Honolulu as well. So it was pretty chaotic.
Got busy.
It was very busy. And
Get
that was
your
like,
waves?
I got like 3 that day, but I was stoked. I was
Yeah.
like, the best waves that you'll catch in your life, pretty much.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like getting one wave at Snapper in the crowd. It's,
Probably better, hey.
well, better. No,
Yeah.
but like.
It's
Do you know
like
what I
it,
mean?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and you can surf the beaches all the time, but then you get one wave at Snapper.
And you're like,
and it's like, whoa.
Even if you've been paddling for like 3 hours and you get that one wave, you're like,
Yes. Yeah.
But,
absolutely.
yeah, that sort of came 2 days before the contest. And then obviously we had pumping waves through the comp too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a great time. First event on tour. So
Yeah.
Did you have your
Right.
lineup set? Like I watched your heat. It looked like you were sort of a bit, a little bit out of position
I
here
was,
and there.
yeah, a little bit. I worked a bit with Granger Larson. I stayed with the Larson family when I was over there, and he's an absolute legend. He's like the ultimate local over there.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like some days it shifts. It's not always like in the same spot, but it kind of is. And then obviously you're working out your position compared to the other competitors in the lineup. And I made a few mistakes, and I definitely like probably didn't line up as well as I could have. But
Sure. Did you find you were ahead of the wave or behind the wave? Because that's going to be
that's
what
what
it's going to be. If your timing's right,
Yeah.
you're neither ahead or behind.
I think obviously like with the wave, it's not like the most perfect wave.
Sure.
Breaks and then it kind of goes fat and then fast. So you kind of have to time it where you take off on the right spot, get your first turn in, second turn in, and then there's keiki bowls is what it's called on the inside, and you kind of have to figure out how you're going to negotiate that section.
Figure out which fat backs you're going to
Exactly,
use.
or lip line flirter or something.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was probably mostly ahead of the wave.
Right.
Whereas sometimes I found over there coming from behind is probably better. Like
Sure.
you don't want to be like cramping up and trying to hit it late. Then you don't want to be early because then it doesn't have that oomph.
Who's your favourite out there?
Steph.
Steph, she rides it better.
She does. She surfs it well, but then Carissa surfs it with this kind of aggressive flair too, which I love to watch.
What about Coco out there?
Coco wasn't really there this year
While
because
you're
she
there,
wasn't
yeah,
on tour.
Because I've seen her surf out. I think she surfs
I
beautifully
think
out there.
she surfs beautifully. Like all the girls do. Honestly, there's no one I think it'd be really hard to surf that wave bad because it's so good.
Yeah.
But I think Steph and Carissa stood out to me as the two best.
Yep.
Just like, they just look beautiful. It's like painting a
How
canvas.
is that they stood out as the two best?
I don't know. They're not
Look,
even that good, right?
No, right?
But it was cool to see, and I just learnt so much just from watching them.
Yeah.
And if they weren't there, I feel like I probably would have been like 3 steps behind what I am, experience-wise. So they taught me a lot. I
Can't
still have
do
a
what
long
you
way to
can't
go.
see,
but
hey?
yeah, exactly. They just
And it's now put you in a good space for next year.
yeah.
Like, there's no reason why you can't do well there now. Like, you just need that one breaking the ice, which
That's it.
you've done.
Mm.
And you to really take them on next year when you get there. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
it's like, you know what we've just spoken about, your timing. Get your timing, get lots of video of yourself, and you should do really well because your surfing suits that wave.
I love it. I kind of like, I wanted to get through more heat just so I could surf it with 2 people.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like,
of
this
You
is
course.
just wanted to be out
phenomenal.
there
That was it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
in the bowl.
I can't even explain how good it was.
It's
Yeah,
a great,
that's
but the way it bowls on the end.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful and beautiful to watch. Now, you've brought some magic in for us, something special to
have.
you.
Yes.
Well, we're going to bring it in the standard paddle out way.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You
Ready?
for the magic?
Ah!
Wow! What is
Look at this beauty.
that? What is it?
It is an Indonesian machete from Lakey Peak.
Wow.
Hand
Gnarly.
carved,
And
still bloody sharp.
how
so
come you bought that? Like,
I
what-
didn't buy it.
No, why'd you bring that into the show?
This.
We haven't done anything wrong, have we?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't told you yet, but yeah, I plan to use this
At
later.
the end of the show, we got to watch ourselves now.
I'm gonna hide it behind my chair for later. No, I actually won this in a contest at the Rip Curl Grom Search International Final, which was held at Lakey Peak.
Cool.
In like the best conditions that I've ever had for a contest, like perfect lefts. Me and Breesa Hennessy were in the final, and it's kind of bittersweet, really, because I got second. But like,
It
you
means
can't
a
beat
lot.
that. That's the coolest trophy I've ever gotten. So
Yeah, I was going to say, if you brought something special, where's your World Junior trophy?
I kind of thought that might have been a bit cliche, to be
Oh, I
honest.
know, but it's still cool.
But it's
Being
still
you're a World Junior champion.
yeah, no.
That's insane.
Do you want to know where it's actually sitting right now? That
I'd love to know.
trophy in my downstairs room in the cupboard behind boxes.
Well, you need to bring it in here.
It's locked
Make it-
away.
You need to donate it to the set just
I
for a little
might.
bit of time. Bring it. Let's
Well, it's
put it
not
on the
getting
set
any
for us.
airtime now.
Let's get
It's
some
like-
airtime for it.
It's getting dusty. It's a dust collector.
You'll bust it out when the time's
I
right.
reckon I will. It used to sit in mum and dad's house, and then I took it home because I was like, yeah, I'll put it somewhere. And then I'm kind of not like, I don't like showing off in a
Fair
way. I'm more
enough.
just like a bit more reserved. And
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
And you get to celebrate those things because you get to talk about them without it being already out there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
love it.
I actually got more use at home when my brother was at home. He used to have parties when mum and dad were gone. And he'd send me photos of him and his mates drinking on it. So maybe I need to donate it back to him.
Yeah,
Oh,
it-
that is so good.
How was that winning the world title?
It was
Did you
really
go from winning an Australian title?
I won one Australian title under 18s. I forget where it was. I think it was down Kiama way,
Mhm.
and that was like my last year. And then I must have gone straight into winning the next year the World Juniors, which was pretty epic.
Yeah.
That was like probably still is a highlight of my career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
More than because to qualify for the CT,
Yeah.
you were the QS champion. Is that right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
You actually won the qualifying series.
It's pretty cool.
Not many people talk about that. I find that quite interesting.
Winning the QS tour with all the best surfers in the world, they're going to be the next world champions.
Yeah, because you're not talking
So-
about 32 well, for the girls 16.
Yeah.
You're talking about
Hundreds.
600.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
That's who you're
Hard to
fighting
win.
against.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think
No one
about
thinks
that.
about that. It's like you're fighting against 600, and any of those people could turn up for that event on that day.
Yeah.
As long as they got enough of a seating, you're up against hundreds of people. Not
Yeah, it was.
so.
I don't know. It was kind of baffling that I
A
won.
couple of good
overall.
wins,
Oh, I'll take it. But like,
and then you won the Stratty.
yeah, that's right. Forget about that.
That was a great event. You were getting well piped on that event.
I was barrel dodging a little bit. There was one section I looked back and I was like, that was no. But I still got barreled, so I
You
think
did.
there was only two girls that got barreled the whole
Correct.
contest. So I was like, I'll take it.
I was watching you hunting.
Yeah, well, I was going over pretty much 2 times a week before that.
Yeah.
When the contest got called on. And it's funny because every time I went over, it was 3 foot and glassy and perfect. And then we go over for the contest and it's like 4 to 5 foot and junky and onshore.
Yeah.
Kind of onshore. I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Take it as it comes.
This will be interesting. It'll be a challenge, which is cool because
Yeah, you had to
I like
find
a challenge.
diamonds in the rough out there,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
you?
exactly. That's.
You found them.
I
All
did.
the way to the
It was
finals.
hard though. It was definitely not easy. It's always a lot more chunky than what it looks to on TV. Like it's so much more punch than even the Goldie Beaches.
Even D-bar.
Even D-bar.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get a piece out of it because if you miss the proper takeoff, you end up with the fat. You end up on the
Exactly.
shoulder. So you got to always take off deep.
Yeah.
You know,
have
if you get
to,
deep,
yeah.
you get a piece. You don't get deep, you get nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So you kind of have to throw yourself over.
You're lucky to get a pocket barrel unless you're deep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really cool experience. And we had the Cabba contest, Stratty, and then obviously WA didn't go ahead.
Mm.
So I clinched like the overall title.
Yes,
right.
that's right.
Which was
Yeah, that's right.
cool.
You were the
Australasian?
no. It's
What is it?
Aussie.
The challenge, no, not Challenger Series. What was it called?
I can't remember.
But yeah, I got knocked in the quarters or even round before the quarters at Cabarita.
Mm.
Like, I've got no hope. And then all of a sudden, Steph gets knocked first round, Tyler gets knocked first round at Stratty, and I'm like, I had to like win.
Chance.
I had to win to
Oh,
win
really?
the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good that you actually had to win to actually
it was awesome.
get it.
Yeah.
So,
But I was
super
in the
good.
final with like one of my best friends, Sophie McCulloch,
Mm.
and she's like, oh, you know, like if I win, my coach gets Scruff Rules tattooed on his bum, and I'm like, well, if I win, there's like 20K that goes towards like kids affected by cancer.
Yes, a tattoo on a compared to.
I think she's glad she lost.
Oh, I mean, everyone wants to win. She wants to
Yeah.
win just as much as I do, but
Of
we were
course.
like a little emotional warfare. But
It's
Oh,
nice
she's
it
a
went to a
legend.
charity.
it was awesome. That was probably like my favorite win, just because it feels nice to give back, and
Hell yeah.
I don't need the money, and someone else might need it more than I do. So yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Can I have a little look?
yeah, go for it. Don't
Wow.
cut yourself.
So with the the QS,
Yep.
I'll
to
pop
win
it
it,
in, yeah.
did you have to did it come down to the last event or did you have it in the bag before the last event?
I qualified in Spain, which was I think the second last event. That was a prime 10-star. We only had 2 10-stars. One was in Manly, I think, and I could be wrong, and one was definitely in Spain. Oh, one was at Huntington. And I qualified because I made it to the quarters in Spain. And so I was already secured, and then going through Berube, the 6,000, or like all the names like Bronte and Keeley, they kept getting knocked out. And again, I had to win the whole thing to win
The
The
qualifier.
last
qualifying
event.
series.
The last event.
the last event. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So I feel like I work, like, if there's that little added incentive, I'm like, yeah, okay, like, that'd be really cool to get that title.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty special. I'm still waiting for the trophy, though. We were meant to have a awards
I know.
night, like, 2 years ago, and that obviously got cancelled
Didn't
because
have
of
it,
COVID.
COVID. Yeah, I know.
So I was like, that's cool.
Oh
but-
yeah, they cancelled
yeah,
the big night.
they did. I had, like,
It was all
my
set up
outfit
too.
ready. I bought my outfit the day before it got cancelled.
Oh my
So I was
god.
like, it's okay.
So you got a good
Next time.
outfit.
So you got-
I got a bright blue dress suit.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Sick.
really cool. But now I think, past like through COVID, I've actually put on more muscle and more weight now that I actually can't fit into it anymore.
No.
So I'm just like, hey,
Oh,
might just
man.
like sell it or something.
Yeah,
it to someone else.
exactly. That's the.
So how did surfing start for you? Like, do your parents surf, or how did you get
Yeah.
into it? Like, when you first board, how did you get your first board?
It's pretty cool actually. My dad surfs. He's the one who taught me, and he used to he'd travel to Africa and all these different countries and surf with his mates. Never competed, never got into contests. And he originally got me into surfing because he wanted a buddy to surf with. And he's like, yeah, so we cool. And then obviously eventually it ended up taking more of his time than he hoped because he was driving me to contests on the weekends.
Right.
So it probably kind of backfired, but he loves watching it. But my first board I remember was a board that I bought on eBay for probably $50. And I think the brand was OKE surfboards.
Yeah.
And I have photos of me in the Wahoos with it, and it was like probably 6 foot tall. And I was just starting to surf. And yeah, that was my first OG board. And then my dad won a shotgun surfboard in a raffle at Coolum Board Riders.
Yeah.
And being the legend that he is, he donated it to me.
Perfect.
And I think that was the board that kind of started everything.
Really
it was more
ignited
loose.
the flame.
Yeah, it ignited the flame. And yeah, it was pretty cool that he did that because he's a frother just like me. And I guess it's what
surprising
you do for
that
kids,
he
really.
actually gave it up. Hey?
Oh, no, I can see that he did that. Like, I'd probably do that for my kid too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you join a board riders as you were going along?
Yeah, I'm still a member of Coolum Board Riders.
Okay.
And I reckon that shaped, like, obviously you get experience going in board riders contests. And back then, right now, there's so many girls who surf in Coolum Board Riders, but back then there wasn't as many. So I was in board riders with Jaleesa Vincent as well.
Yeah,
So we would join like the boys' rounds and surf against them. And her brother Jake Vincent's a good surfer. We're versing him and all those really good guys from Coolum. And
Did you beat a few of the boys?
not as regularly as I'd like to, but when we did, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. That's so good.
But I reckon that shaped just competing for me.
Yeah.
Because it just brought out that element of fun. I was never really like super serious at the start.
Yeah.
It was more like when I got to 16, 17 where I was like, okay. But before that, I was just like doing it for my mates, for the lifestyle,
camaraderie.
So
and that's
16, 17, but
15 maybe.
yeah, I was going to say, because didn't you win get the second at Lakey at 16?
That was I was just doing the Grom searches. I was like focused on it, but I wasn't like, all right, I want to be world champion. I was just like doing it because it was fun and I liked winning.
Perfect.
I was super competitive back then, always have been. Like, you wouldn't tell if you met me. I'm like very placid, but yeah, I'm a killer.
Yeah, no, I can see the
Killer
fire in the
inside.
I'm a
eyes.
killer.
I can see the fire.
Yeah, that's what scares me.
I can see the
Especially
goals
when she
shooting
bought
out of this.
Yeah.
Especially when
Like-
she bought that knife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
But the world title's a goal, isn't it? Winning the world title.
Otherwise,
What are you doing there?
what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to make up numbers.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, my first goal is to improve, learn off those girls, make it through heats, have fun. But the ultimate goal for everyone, all of us, should be to win a world title.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to go, Bella, is to just one step at a time instead of just thinking, oh, I can get there, because there is that learning curve.
Yeah.
And those girls know what they're doing. When you come into a heat, they're maneuvering you,
Yeah.
you know, and they're all of a sudden you get through the heat and you go, wow, I didn't even get one good wave.
Hectic, hey.
And they learned how to play the game.
The
So they
Jedi
know.
mind tricks.
And they're the girls like, well, that's the steps. And, you know, they'll come on and go, hey, Bella, great, you know,
Hectic,
like
hey.
this. But then they'll get you in the water and they'll be maneuvering you around.
Yeah, no,
And
totally.
I see that with the older, and you will one day too. When you see the rookie coming on, you go,
Especially.
you know, you can't just give them an open road.
Yeah.
Yeah, take everything I've worked for.
No, or
They got to
exactly.
earn it.
But then it's good in a way too, because if they weren't doing that, then I wouldn't learn as much as
Correct.
like what I already have,
Yeah.
even in one contest.
Yeah.
And it's good that we had that break in a way, because after that comp, I've been able to like dissect things and
Perfect.
work through it and ready for the next leg.
And
the
you got
next leg, the next
Yeah.
leg is
Leg's
like,
exciting. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be good.
yeah.
what
we've
is
got-
it?
So we're starting at Newcastle on the 1st of April. So everyone's flying over in the next week or so, or next 2 weeks, and then they're going to quarantine, obviously. And then 1st of April is Newcastle. I'm pretty sure it's for like a 10-day period. And then we have a 6-day break. And we have Narrabeen, which I've never surfed before. So I'm actually, in a couple of days' time, I'm going to scoot down and test the
right.
waters. We fly over to WA, Margaret River, and then Rottnest Island.
How exciting is Rottnest for a
So
tour
exciting.
event?
Amazing. I've never been there, but the photos I've seen from it look
Yeah.
unreal. Have you guys been
I've been.
surfing? There used to be contests there, right? Like the
Well, there wasn't a contest when I went, but I went over with boards and everything, and I looked at the water. I was so scared of sharks. I went, I'm not going
That's
out there.
fair, I
I
understand.
just
that.
looked out, and it was so far out there, and I went, and I was the only guy there with boards, and I
That's
went,
smart.
no.
Maybe not.
It's so
security
full of
and
big
stuff.
fish over there.
I know.
But so is
WA.
Margie. So
But you
yeah,
know
the
what?
whole
Yeah, the
area,
whole WA.
So is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole world is really,
Yeah.
you're right. Have you ever encountered a shark in the water?
Not that I know of, But there was one incident at Snapper where I was just paddling out through the lineup and I saw something swim underneath me, kind of went like this. And I'm like, okay, that looks like a shark. I don't think the dolphin will be like on the bottom doing these. But I kind of felt safe in a way that, you know, safety in numbers. Like every time I go out, I'm like, what are my odds today? Not every time I go out, but like if I feel a little bit uncomfortable, I try and find people to surf with. Yeah. Which is a bit selfish. Because you're like, all right, well, there's less odds. But,
it's not selfish.
At Snapper,
well, we're surfers. We are selfish.
We are. This is the most selfish sport. Honestly, it actually is. But I felt very safe that day because I think there must have been like 300 people out. I'm like, if it decides to come back for me, it might mistake me for something. Like,
but then we did have the attack with 300 people in the water. So that was when that happened. I think the whole, certainly the Gold Coast community, but I think all of the East Coast just went, oh my goodness,
this can happen.
Like at Rainbow, where you take your kids because it feels the safest place ever.
And we've all paddled through that section.
We've all
paddled through the right where that guy got hit.
I don't know how many times I've paddled through there since.
Same. And every time I do, I'm like, in the back of my head is like this little voice. I'm like, don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Look, if you're in the water and you hear that sound, do.
Is that what they play before?
Then you go in.
Okay.
It's from the loudspeakers
sound
on the
out
beach.
of Jaws.
You know what though? That would be really handy if they did that.
That's right. You can
give
come
us
in.
time, But I mean, very unfortunate. And there was a few others around here too. So I think everyone was kind of rattled after all those ordeals.
Yeah.
Now, what about that story about the thing with you with doing a photo shoot?
Yeah, tell us that story.
Okay.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to ask.
We're on the same line here.
I know, you guys are like yin and yang.
Yeah. Well, something like that.
Bert and Ernie.
Who's the black one?
But with that, we've heard there's a good, who's the nanny? He's the nanny.
I can see that.
I'll take it.
One of my like craziest stories, I don't know how to like, hope this comes out well, but I went on a trip with a sponsor. I'm not going to mention who.
As you do, you have to. You got to do those trips.
Yep, as we do, and we went up to Double Island, and this is me, a fresh pea plater. I think I got my peas maybe 2 days earlier.
Wow. And
I'm told to hop in this like big Defender. Love those cars, but I've never been inclined to buy one after this incident. But they're so gorgeous. Anyway, I get in. I got one of my mates sitting next to me, and the filmers decide to stand on the front of the bonnet just to film through. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. We're on soft sand. I'll go real slow. And it's a manual. I got my manual license, but you know how it is when you're learning. It's very difficult.
Lots of kangarooing.
Yeah, I still do that now, like honestly. But yeah, we're going along, and I start picking up maybe a little bit too much speed, and we hit a little divot in the sand. One of the filmers goes over the ledge in front of the car, and I proceed to roll over him. And I put my foot on the brake, and I literally put my foot on the brake as I'm on top of him.
Oh my God.
And the person in the seat next to me, the door wasn't working, so the window was already down, and they like army roll out the window to check on this guy, and that was traumatic. I think they actually it didn't go well for them either. And I quickly, that was the quickest I've ever thought in my life, put it into reverse back, and luckily, literally for...
I thought you're like, I missed him the first time and reversed back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
No, I kind of hoped that wasn't the case, but for like 20 seconds...
Didn't do it good enough the first time.
I'm like, do I go forward or backwards? Like, I just went backwards. And for like 20 seconds there, I thought I'd killed someone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that, like, if anyone's ever been in that situation, that was the scariest moment, like, of my whole life.
Yeah.
And reverse over and literally just a bruised stomach.
Stop it.
That's it. And we keep going with the shoot, and then he keeps shooting.
Oh my God.
He kept shooting after getting run over by a car?
Yes.
On his stomach?
Absolute trooper. And ever since then, we just have this ongoing joke. Oh, remember that time that I almost killed you? But yeah, that was.
That is a.
But those are the kind of memories that you just stitch in your brain. And there was like a while there, maybe for like a year. I actually went home. I didn't tell anyone because I was so like traumatized.
Of course.
And then I think like my parents must have found out about it through other avenues, and I was like, yeah, that happened. But now I just laugh at it and just go, it's one of those things that happens, and I'm lucky to not have killed someone.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah,
That was pretty crazy.
that would have been heavy, huh?
But I absolutely love Defenders too. I've been looking at buying some, and the only thing that's like holding me back is like that one time.
Traumatic experience.
That one. But yeah, now I laugh about it. But
Yeah, that's.
I was like, 17, 16, 17 I was.
So one of the last times we was talking about you doing tow surfing.
Yes.
Did you start? Did you get a jet ski?
I got a jet ski. I actually got one.
No wonder you're over at Stratty every
I
second
know.
day.
I know.
I heard you got a pumping session up there.
I did.
Yeah.
I got a ski as soon as
Actually,
yeah.
pumping session.
Oh, this is
Oh
like
my God, there it is.
that's it.
That's
Wow.
it.
Oh, how good is that? I
one of it-
actually
you
I haven't held
haven't
this
seen it.
in person yet. That's so cool. The facials are always on point.
Middle of winter,
This is
wetsuit
like-
on.
Yeah, obviously middle of winter. But I'm also a sook, so it could have been like autumn or spring.
Yeah.
So who you towing with there?
I didn't tow. I was just paddling. This was actually right before the contest started. So WSL sent a lot of filmers over.
Yep.
And then because it was pumping the day before the contest started too. So we all came over and pretty sure Shieldsy took this photo.
Yeah.
Absolute legend. And he was just in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we all went over, all the CT surfers went over, and we had like one of the best sessions and
So good.
managed to get a shot in a mag, double
Not just a
spread.
shot.
This is like the longest like article that I've had. There's like 6 pages in here or something, 7 pages.
Longer, yeah.
So stoked.
Yeah, we were stoked to be able to do a story on you. I mean, the reason we did it
Yeah.
is because we think you're amazing.
Oh, touche. I think you
And,
guys are amazing.
You know,
I love what you're doing.
you
You're like
rip.
one of the last hardcover, hard print magazines left.
Yeah, we fight hard to keep that alive. But this is about you, and the reason we selected you for it because I just think you absolutely rip, and your stories are amazing. And Kate did a great job writing.
She did an amazing job.
Your story. So yeah,
Am
we're
I
stoked.
wrong to think that one of those photos you took yourself?
You
did?
because we had that session
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we went down to that way and
It turned out really well. You got
turned out all right.
yeah,
Hey?
yeah.
That was a funny
tow
day
session.
because
Man
Well,
of many talents.
I'll do a couple of things.
I know. I was like that. I saw it in the magazine, like on a phone, like on
Yeah.
my phone when I was overseas.
Yeah.
And like that turned out really well. I hadn't seen
Yeah.
that photo before, so props to you.
Yeah, well, we
You're good.
were out with Crispy, who
Oh,
was
this
at
is
Surfing
funny.
Australia, but now he's doing his own thing. He's commentating, and
Yeah.
he gets sideswiped by a wave.
A small one, which
Just
is
a tiny little
yeah,
thing.
but that happens.
Rolled
when
the
you're not
jet ski.
aware.
It's upside down. He'd never rolled one before, so he had to, and he'd just been
He
told
did so well to
a week
flip it.
before, this is how you roll it back if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Does it, straight back over. This is where it all goes wrong, though.
Oh.
No lanyard.
He goes to fire it up, fires up, nah, fires it up, nah, starts getting washed in. It was pretty solid conditions, and we dragged this thing up the beach. Tow rope completely wrapped
forgot about
through
the
the
tow rope.
impeller.
So we were doing,
Just-
yeah, we were towing. Just
Welcome to tow surfing.
hectic. Like, I
and then
wouldn't
we-
have even
Is
thought.
that the ski you were using?
That's her
That's my
ski.
ski.
Yeah.
So that was the first mishap that I had, but I'm like so not a materialistic person. I was laughing the whole time.
That
going,
was
this
funny,
is
hey?
funny.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And
I got a photo of you like
yeah,
holding
so
that ski
good.
back.
He's like,
But we
yeah.
had to get, there was a guy on the beach. He came down. He's like, oh, I've got spanners in the car. We
It
had
was
to
epic.
unscrew a plate off the bottom. And then we had a fishing knife to cut the rope.
There was
Yeah.
4
It took
guys.
ages.
Takes a long
holding
time
it
to
up.
cut the rope.
Yeah,
Undid it, bolted it back on, back
Away
out
you
there.
go.
out again.
Step
kept
off.
going.
Boom.
We had no
No,
tow rope. Step
Literally,
offs.
an empty beach, and all of a sudden 4 guys pop up.
Yeah.
4 muscly guys, and I was like, this is perfect. Like,
She's not talking about me. We needed the 4 muscle guys to turn up.
and then 2 of them ran off to get like a knife. One
Yeah.
ran off to get his like
Spanners.
and stuff. And I was like, this is epic. And like it was an ordeal too, and it's in the memory bank. Like
It was so fun.
it was funny. But yeah, that was Penny's first mishap and her last.
She's been
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
since then.
She's been
You've
good.
been looking after her.
How?
That's because you haven't
How?
let Crispy surf it. Sorry, Crispy.
He actually
Let
did,
him
he
drive
did
it.
really well.
No, he was amazing.
Quick thinking. I would have
Yes.
been like a little bit frazzled, and he just went quick, boom, boom, and then
Yeah.
who would have known about the tow rope really? Like, yeah, but we got a good photo out of it, so it was.
You got
so
a
worth
great
it.
photo
Yeah,
out of
We
it's
actually got a
cool.
couple. There's a couple in there.
Really?
Yeah. It was
Epic.
fun. It was good size, and you You're
Secret
throwing the
bank.
hammer down, and that's what I like about your surfing.
Secret
You've
bank.
got a rail game, and it's solid.
Well, even with old magazines, like they don't really cover women's surfing, like giving them
No.
like you're the main
That's
main
crazy,
story
hey?
of the mag.
Times have changed.
Times
is
Well, it
have
was
changed.
you and Vahini, the
Yeah.
2 majors.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Props to you guys.
No, props to you guys. You guys rip. We just publish it.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the game. Just tell the stories that need to be told, and in surfing, your story needed to be told, so we told it.
Legend.
So yeah.
So stoked how it
amazing.
turned out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And anything else on the cards for you at the moment?
I'm just at home training now.
Training.
Doing the do, getting ready for a VOCA. I'm going to go down for the QS.
Yeah, righto. That's a 3.
3.
Yep.
So I'm going to go down. I'm going to stay in Narrabeen, surf Narrabeen before the contest starts, the CT, and then do a VOCA, obviously, try and learn some things from the contest.
Yep.
And then go to Newcastle, surf Newcastle.
Yeah.
Kind of become reacquainted because I haven't been there for like
Yeah.
2 years now. And it's just it's a different wave to anything around here too.
Yeah.
So different. It has so many faces, like it has so many personalities. Sometimes it's like in the shorey and it's a slab, or it's out the back and it's a perfect wall. And,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go there and do that, and then I'll have 2 weeks before I come, like between when I get back and then when I go down for the CT. And right now I'm just enjoying living the dream.
Yeah, perfect. And sponsors, we always like to look after the people who look after you. Who
Definitely.
you got looking after you?
Obviously Billabong, I've been with them since I was 14, 15. They've been my biggest support.
Excellent.
Darren Henley surfboards. I literally just picked up 3 freshies
Ooh.
right before coming here, and they
Excited.
look beautiful. I dropped them off to get sprayed. I picked them up this afternoon, and then I head off tomorrow. So it's all like boom, boom, boom.
Nice.
Have you got a cherry board in amongst all that? Like, have you got one like a?
Yeah, I do actually.
You do like a favourite?
The board that I rode at Stratty, the purple rail to Ducks Nuts 5.9, and I rode it at Stratty. I rode it at Maui. I rode it. It's like a good wave board, and I've had it for literally 2 years now.
Good
Perfect.
girl.
And it's just done the job. Like I can rely on it. I can take it out anywhere if it's under like 6 foot or so, and it's just like a dream.
And you know it.
I know it. Like we're
They
very
settle in
familiar with each
after-
other.
They
Yeah.
settle in after a couple of years, don't they?
You know what I find actually? Sometimes I put a board away and I come back a year and a half later, take it out of the shed, and it goes better.
Yes.
Like-
Have time to cure and
Yeah.
set and get everything.
Like the board that I qualified on was one like that.
One of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, it takes with a surfboard. It takes a while to get to know him, because if you keep changing, you know, with even when he makes you 2 exact same boards, there's
the
still going to be a curve here and hit there that's not the same, because they're handmade.
Yeah, phone
Yeah.
So
density and
they've got
glass weight.
different.
It's never exactly the same.
Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting, but also sometimes you're like, I want it made just like that one, and
Yeah.
or sometimes it's better than what it was. So it's like there's both sides of the scale.
I think that's the most interesting thing about our sport is that it's one of the very few sports that is a lifestyle and not just a sport. You know, tennis, but you don't have, oh yeah, I live the tennis lifestyle. No, but so many people live the surfing lifestyle.
Yeah.
And then you go take that to our equipment. For our top level professional athletes are still 90% hand done.
Yeah.
Even if they chuck the blank into the machine and cut it, that's 10%. The
It is.
rest is like handcrafted equipment that they're holding a world tour on and you become a world champion on. It's quite an amazing
It is when you say it
aspect
like
to
that.
surfing.
Yeah, the shapers have such a big input into how someone surfs. Obviously, like the best surfers can jump on any sled and be amazing, but there's just those little tweaks that they can make to just, yeah, they're a big influence. Like
Massive.
That's a good one. You've got a feather in your cap there, though. You've got a board, you know.
I do.
You know, and then you've
Yeah.
got other ones that you're starting to get to know. Fine with a board. It usually takes about 6 months to actually
That makes sense.
really know a board. Like, because when you hit a board, you hit your turn, you're going, you're not sure how fast you're going to get to the lip, or whether you're going to get inside the line you're aiming at or outside the line, you know. And then after 6 months, you're able to know exactly the timing and how it feels, how long you can hold it on the rail and release the turns and stuff. So like my advice to guys is like when I see guys riding fresh boards, some do it for all different reasons.
Yeah.
One is they're sick of the board they're riding, they want some freshness.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, bang, and guys can go in and surf in a contest and ride a fresh board and win.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, but I've seen guys over years. I've seen guys have dog boards, right? But then eventually I've seen them win on them because they've learnt to get to know them.
Yeah. You've
And they
learned
know-
the subtle differences, and you can counteract.
Well, they become
counterbalance.
part of you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And you get your indents. You know exactly where to put your foot. Like it's back a bit further. But I've been watching a lot of films from like back in the day. And I loved all the longer boards that everyone was riding. All the glassed in fins. Like
Yeah.
just seems like it's so much smoother surfing. Like more fluid.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I love watching it.
You don't have the ability to quickly pump down the line, because if you did that on one of those boards, you'd just wag yourself off.
Yeah, you
know.
would. Yeah.
So they always had to draw longer, cleaner lines, and
And it was on feeling. Like a lot of like our era was all the feel, because your era is like got the videos and you
Yeah.
got camera crews and you
That's
got
true.
selfie cameras. You can take things instantly. If we did film, it would take 2 weeks to come,
How
Even
fun
see
is
it.
and
that?
we would probably get film that were like that probably once a year, once every couple of
Really?
years. We'd get a little bit of footage
Yeah.
that we could. So everything was feel.
Yeah.
Or what everyone else told you they saw, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So
Which
then
is
you had
hard.
to
Yeah, you don't get your
internalise
own
and-
opinion.
And your shaper became really important because you're going, oh yeah, I'm surfing like this, but he's going, no, you're surfing like that.
Yeah,
And
how
you
funny
get,
is that?
and yeah, it was mad. And then in time, then videos became with a video camera. Once the
Yeah.
video camera came, it was instant.
Instead, you
exactly.
come in, look
So
at it.
everything changed then.
I bet it did. I wouldn't even imagine how I would have gone about, like, or improving. Yeah, you got a feel, but if I didn't have that instant feedback of that turn felt bad, but it looked good, and I'd just keep doing it how it
Because-
felt good and looked bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. I wish we had more time.
always,
It's always
always. I could chat
we have to-
forever with you guys.
we have to
ha-
pull the show up, unfortunately, but we've got. Oh, look, here we go. From our partners at
Oh,
Pure Scotch.
legend.
Ready to drinks.
Thank you.
Scotch and tonic.
I love that.
There you go.
Thank
and
you,
here's
guys.
some scotch. This is one of my favourite scotches.
Oh my God.
Pure Scotch. It's one of the
You
best
can
scotch.
mix that with
Thank
whatever
you
you like,
so
or
much.
not
That's
even
for your
mix
mum
it.
and dad.
Unless you're.
Oh, I mean, I don't mind
You
a
like
scotch
scotch?
here and there. Yeah.
Okay, right
There
on.
you go. Well,
Thank you,
perfect.
guys. Really appreciate it.
We've also got
Oh, presents.
a watch.
What?
From Wear It.
Thank you. Wear it. That thing's beautiful.
That is a lovely watch.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
I
Just,
selected the exact watch that I thought would suit you.
I love silver. I'm a silver girl.
There you go.
Just for talking to you guys, I get presents.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
you get some more. Look,
That's a
here's
present
a
in itself.
surfboard wall hanger from Narwhal. Like,
Epic.
if you got a favourite board,
I do
you
actually.
Can...
I have a board that I rode when I filmed for the Shallows with
Right.
Blake Lively. And
Yes,
So I
of
might,
course.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hang that up.
Surf paints.
I'm not creative, but I can try.
Just have fun.
Thank
Draw
you.
some stars and love hearts.
It's like Christmas.
This is Christmas.
And there, it's like going
Oh, that's cool.
the Royal Easter Show and you get your show bag,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really good show
But
bag.
so much better. Thank
And
you.
the best thing is your article in our
That's
mag.
my favorite.
Isn't that the
for
best
sure.
thing?
The best.
No, all our sponsors are amazing and they do great, but this is
It's special. This is something that you keep forever. You know, like I've only ever been in a couple surf mags, so I'm saving them up for when I have kids and I
So
can
you
show
should.
them and go, look, Mum was in the surf magazine. Thank you
Right
so
on, Bella.
much.
Good. Have a great season.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
We'll be watching you closely.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
So guess what?
What?
Time to paddle in.
Here
paddled
it
out.
is.
Bella, thanks for coming.
Anytime.
Guys, thanks for watching and tune in again next time.
Aloha.
I need it all, still chasing everything I know. I've been lost, never found, no idea where I should go. Still seeking for the changes, all in time, I never doubt. It's leaning on my patience, I feel the time. I could never